enactment of the treaty of 1752. Our Wabanaki students from grade 10s, 11s, and 12s, they've been working on this production for the past 3 weeks. It's something we're learning about, and it's important because we're all treaty people. Canada was born on treaties. Without treaties, we wouldn't have a country. So, I also want to say happy birthday and cake.
Oh, sure. Yes. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, so we will get started. And here, enjoy. Hold on.
Good afternoon, staff and students. We are honored to share what we have learned in our Wabanaki Studies class with you all today.
Prior to the signing of the sacred agreement, there was war happening here in Mi'kmaq. France and Britain were competing for control of Mi'kmaq territory.
French settlers created a relationship with the Mi'kmaq, who eventually became their allies when the English arrived.
After years of battle since the early 1600s, the British defeated the French in 1760, driving them out of the Maritimes. During the American Revolution, the Mi'kmaq signed the final peace and friendship treaty with the British in 1779. In this reenactment, we will be discussing an earlier peace and friendship treaty signed between the Mi'kmaq and British in 1752. Each treaty between the Mi'kmaq and British varies slightly, but works to ratify or renew the Treaty of 1725.
The treaty was signed on November 22nd, 1752, between Governor Peregrine Thomas Hobson and Chief John Baptist Ovid.
Oral tradition tells that this treaty was signed on the hill, which is now Fort Nathan, above Richmond, present-day Halifax.
Major John Baptist Gobet, Chief Sa'am of the Wabanaki tribe of Mi'kmaq Indians inhabiting the eastern coast of the said province, and Andrew Hadley Martin, Gabriel Martin, and Francis Jeremiah. Members and delegates of the said tribe, for themselves and their said tribe, their heirs and the heirs of their heirs forever.
This means that the treaty applies to the Mi'kmaq children forever. Uchit Mijuwaji Tviapju. The chiefs accompanying John Baptist Gobet are said to be from Bear River, Partridge Island, and Duke.
Article 1. It is agreed that the Articles of Submission and Agreement made at Boston in New England by the delegates and the Penobscot, Norridgewock, and St. John Indians in the year 1725, 1726, and lately renewed with Governor Cornwallis at Halifax and ratified at St. John's River, now read over, explained, and interpreted shall be and are, from this time forward, renewed, reiterated, and forever confirmed by them and their tribe. Article 2. That all transactions during the late war shall on both sides be buried in oblivion with the hatchet, and that the said Indians shall have all favor, friendship, and protection shown them from this His Majesty's government.
When this treaty was signed, a hatchet and a sword were buried close to a willow on the brook that ran through Richmond in present-day Mulgrave Park, Halifax.
During the signing of the 1761 treaty, another bearing of the hatchet ceremony was conducted near the Halifax courthouse. This ceremony involved washing war paint from the faces and bodies of Mi'kmaq warriors.
term "bury the hatchet" is seen as inappropriate as it trivializes the ancient peacemaking ceremony in which two fighting nations buried their weapons of war.
Article 3, that thus said tribe shall use their utmost endeavors to bring in the other Indians to renew and ratify this peace.
Did you know that the Mi'kmaq and French were at war with the British between 1613 and 1761? 75% of the Mi'kmaq population was decimated by 1620. In 1749, Colonel Edward Cornwallis founded Halifax without Mi'kmaq consent. The Mi'kmaq declared war against the British to protect their homeland. Between 1749 and 1752, Colonel Edward Cornwallis offered bounties for Mi'kmaq scalps.
Article 4. It is agreed that the said tribe of Indians shall not be hindered from, but have free liberty of hunting and fishing as usual, and that if they shall think a truck house needful at the river Wabanaki, or any other place of their resort, they shall have the same built and proper merchandise lodged therein, to be exchanged for what the Indians shall have to dispose of, and that in the meantime the said Indians shall have free liberty to bring for sale to Halifax, and any other settlement within this province, skins, feathers, fowl, fish, and any other thing they shall have to sell, where they shall have liberty to dispose thereof to the best advantage.
Freedom to hunt and fish, as our ancestors have done, is essential for food, security, and is vital to our identity as Mi'kmaq peoples.
A truck house is a trading post or modern-day store, where the Mi'kmaq sell or exchange goods with their trading partners. Truck houses enable the Mi'kmaq to continue participating and contributing to and benefiting from the trade economy.
Article 5, that a quantity of bread, flour, and such other provisions as can be procured, necessary for the families and proportionable to the number of the said Indians, shall be given them half yearly for the time to come.
Bread is part of the English Protestant commemoration of the Lord's Last Supper, which may have influenced this provision. Wheat is also native to the Middle East and Europe. This gift represents an introduction of settler culture.
Article 6, that to cherish a good harmony and mutual correspondence between the said Indians and this government, Peregrine Thomas Hobson hereby promises, on the word of His Majesty, that the said Indians shall upon the first day of October yearly, so long as they shall continue in friendship, receive presents of blankets, tobacco, some powder and shot. And the said Indians promise once every year, upon the said 1st of October, to come by themselves, or their delegates, and receive the said presents and renew their friendship and submissions.
This is the reason why we celebrate Treaty Day on October 1st every year.
Blankets represent goodwill and symbolizes warmth and peace. Jeffrey Amherst later encouraged extirpation of indigenous peoples through smallpox-infected blankets.
A gift of tobacco or dumaway is a sign of respect and may be offered when asking for help, guidance, or protection.
Shot and powder are types of ammunition used for muskets. Muskets are firearms of the past. It is possible that shot and powder would have benefited the Mi'kmaq as a more effective method for hunting and fishing. This gift could also symbolize power and trust between the British and the Mi'kmaq.
Does anybody know the Mi'kmaq word for treaty? Anybody? It's Unko Gumpwe. Unko Gumpwe, that means treaty. What is the name of the Mi'kmaq's most famous cultural hero? Yep, it's Glooskap. Good job. Which Mi'kmaq from New Brunswick was drafted by the Chicago Blackhawks and played in the NHL? Yes, Everett Sunny Pass.
Do any of you guys know the first Mi'kmaq to be baptized? Oh, never mind.
Article 7 that the Indians shall use their best endeavors to save the lives and goods of any people shipwrecked on this coast, where they resort, and shall conduct the people safe to Halifax with their goods, and renew, etiquette, and salvage shall be given to them.
As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted. Do any of you guys know the first Mi'kmaq that was baptized in 1610? No one at all? It was the Grand Chief Membertou. He was the first Mi'kmaq to ever be baptized. The first Mi'kmaq to ever really be accepted into white culture. Article 8, that all disputes whatsoever that may happen to arise between the Indians now at peace and others His Majesty's subjects in this province shall be tried in His Majesty's Court of Civil Judicature, where the Indians shall have the same benefit, advantage, and privileges as any other of His Majesty's subjects.
A covenant chain of peace and friendship treaties were signed between 1725 and 1779. Where were some of these treaties signed? Does anybody know?
New Brunswick, I would assume.
So St. John, New Brunswick, Watertown, and Boston, Windsor, New Brunswick, and Halifax. So even throughout the states and the Atlantic provinces.
The peace and friendship treaties do not involve surrender of Micmac land to the Crown. November 22nd, 1752, between Governor Peregrine Thomas Hobson and Chief John Baptist Gobin.
Section 35 of the Constitution Act 1982 recognizes and affirms the existing Aboriginal and treaty rights of Aboriginal peoples of Canada. This section specifically includes the right of Indian, Inuit, and Métis people.
Even though men were the sole signatories of these treaties, treaty rights apply to men, women, children, and to separated peoples as well.